going on, everybody? My name is Chris. This is our channel, Mr. Sillage. Thank you all so much for tuning in. For all the returning subscribed Sillage soldiers, as always, welcome back. And as you all know, you guys can always hit me up with a salute by hitting the thumbs up icon down below. It really shows your support, and you know that I greatly appreciate it. And if you're a new viewer by chance, maybe stick around, see what the channel has to offer. And then if you decide that you ultimately don't like, you can hit the dislike button. But beware, if you hit the dislike button, you'll burn your mouth on that pizza. Today, I am coming to you with another first impression. This is a fragrance that I've been looking forward to coming out for a while. When I saw the notes, I have the original, and when I saw this one coming out, I was pretty excited. And as you might have guessed, that fragrance is none other than Azzaro's Wanted by Night. This was a blind buy. I'm really excited. I like the story behind it. The story goes that it is based off the founder of Azzaro and his hedonistic night lifestyle back in the 1970s. And the cool thing about this one is it adds notes that I wasn't expecting to find in a designer fragrance, let alone one made by Azzaro. There's new additions of incense, red cedar, and more importantly, cumin. I don't see that much cumin in a lot of designer fragrances, so I was really excited to get my hands on this one and try to see how it smells. The way that my blind first impressions usually go when I'm doing a singular review is I unbox, I get the initial impression, I come back a little bit later, give you an update on how it's going, and then I'll come back one more time when the fragrance finally dies down and let you know exactly what I got from the fragrance. So without further ado, let's get started and start unboxing Azzaro Wanted by Night. Okay, let's see, got this. So now with the cellophane off, you can sort of get a better impression. The box is very similar to the original. It has that same revolver kind of look to the top, which I personally like the Azzaro bottles. A lot of people say they're tacky, but I personally like them. Opening the bottle, it's an Eau de Parfum concentration. This is the 3.4 ounce, and right now I got this at Macy's for $90 for the 3.4 ounce. And right off the bat with the bottle, you can tell a lot of the similarities with the original. The Azzaro is printed in the glass on the bottom right down there. It has that revolver look to the top, but it's not gold on the actual bullet heads. It has a darker kind of feel to the bottom. The original had a more yellowy. This one is definitely more evocative of the name by night. The sprayer on the original works pretty good. Damn, the top's on there pretty hard. And let's see. The sprayer on this one, let the first couple ones out, works pretty good as well. Now I'm gonna spray the back of my hand and let's see what this opening of Azzaro by Night has to offer. Two nice sprays in there. All right, right off the bat, just going like this, you can definitely tell that this is a flanker to the original. It has a lot of the original DNA. The original, a lot of people say it has a synthetic kind of feel, and I'll admit that the original wasn't really my favorite, but it is very good at what it does. It's a younger kind of scent. This one has a lot of that original opening, and as air is starting to get to it, you're starting to notice a little bit more of the sweeter notes. There's cinnamon in this. I definitely get a lot of the cinnamon. I definitely get a lot of the cinnamon. I don't detect a lot of the cumin, but the incense is there. I'm not detecting any of the cumin right now, but this is really nice opening. It is a synthetic sort of opening. It is a synthetic kind of fragrance, but it's actually, from the opening, I like the opening of this better than the opening of the original already. The opening of the original is sort of a little too obnoxious for me. This one is sort of subdued and tamed back. I'm not saying that it's weak, but it's taken back a little with the deeper notes of incense and cinnamon. I'm really liking the opening. As the air gets more to it, it's starting to open up. I'm going to give this a little bit of time to dry down a little bit, and I'm going to come back to you and let you know how it's developing. Okay, so it's been about the 4-hour mark now, and I'm really liking the way that this fragrance is going so far, to be honest. I was excited for this fragrance, but I didn't have my hopes high, if you know what I mean. But this one has taken the Azzaro Wanted DNA and taken a lot of the obnoxious out of it. It's like Azzaro Wanted grew up. It's a deeper, little bit sweeter. You get a little bit of a powdery vibe from it too, but it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad powdery scent. I don't know why powdery scents have a negative connotation all the time, but this is actually really nice. The cinnamon and the powdery effect I'm getting from it is almost like the sense of ground up cinnamon. The incense is really subdued, not too heavy in this one, but it keeps that cinnamon from going too cloying, and it keeps this fragrance from going too overly sweet, which is a problem that I had with the original Azzaro Wanted. And as this is coming, and as I'm starting to smell right now, I'm detecting the tiniest, faintest bit of that cumin starting to come. I was excited and scared for the cumin because I'll be the first to admit, cumins don't really work that well on my skin. And although I was excited to get this because of that, I was sort of scared at the same time. This is sort of held back, but I think it's helping also keep that tameness in there from not getting it to get too sweet. It's not as beastly as the original, but I like that. It's still got good projection. It's still got good sillage. As I'm walking around my place, I'm catching whiffs of my own sillage and scent trail. It's really good. I'm enjoying as I wear this fragrance. I'm gonna come back one more time and I'm gonna let you know how the fragrance developed on me at the end and give you my final thoughts on Azzaro Wanted by Night. Be right back. Okay, so it's about the 9-hour mark right now. The fragrance has really died down. It's still there on my skin, but this is, you have to be really, really close to smell it. I believe there's still a little bit of sillage because as I move around, I still get hints and whiffs of it, but just smelling it, the actual projection, you have to come pretty close. Now, what are my final thoughts on Azzaro Wanted by Night? I really like this scent. I'm going to have to see further on and further testing, but from this first impression, from this first wearing, I'm surprised. Like I said, I was excited for this release, but I wasn't expecting much, if that makes sense. I am not upset that I paid full retail for that, to be honest. It's not what I was expecting because my expectations were low, and I'm actually pretty happy with this. Does it have synthetic sort of vibes? Yeah. Why does that always have to be a bad thing? Does it have a little bit of powderiness? Yeah. Why does that have to be a bad thing? This is not something that I expected from a designer release, and I am practically thrilled that it didn't go ways that I thought it would. The cumin has actually started to come out, and like I said, I have problems with cumin most of the time, but with the notes that are in this fragrance, it's not used in an overtly cumin kind of way, which, if that makes sense, it's sort of there to ground the cinnamon and the sweet notes and preventing it to get too over the top. And you can still smell that it's there, but it doesn't get to, I know a lot of people associate cumin with a body odor kind of scent, and this comes nowhere near that. This cumin in here with the incense and the cinnamon, this all tied in with the Azzaro Wanted DNA has worked. And you know what? I'm gonna have to do further testing on this, but I'm gonna make this statement from this first wearing. There's very few flankers that come out and take the original and actually improve on it. From this first wearing, now this is just for my first wearing, I think that it has improved on the original Azzaro Wanted DNA. I'm gonna have to do further testing on it, but from this first wearing, I'm definitely liking this a lot more than the original Azzaro Wanted. It's just got this pleasant scent. It's not too original and over the top. It harkens to a lot of like 1 million Privé's and stuff like that, but it tends to be its own at the same time with the additional notes of the incense and cumin. So it takes those and twists them up and makes it its own. And I really, really enjoy it. So there you guys have it. There is my initial first impression and first wearing of Azzaro Wanted by Night. Have you guys tried Azzaro by Night, or have you been excited about any other new releases that are coming out this year? Leave the comments down below. All links to social media will be down in the description. You guys, thank you so much for watching. You know it always means a lot to me. Love you guys, and as always, and most importantly, go frag yourselves.